Hello nature lovers, welcome back to my channel. So it's mid-April and I think it's the ideal time to start pruning or start cutting your trees or plants or whatever you got going on in your apartment, house or garden. Obviously, I'm gonna start with my ficus benjamina trees. And I got two of them, as you can see, and the one on my right or to your left, it's shaped kind of a main trunk, as you can see, and a lot of new branches or stems, whatever, coming out of it. Whereas the other one, it's shaped kind of like the main trunk and two or three, if you will, main branches. So my plan is to start cutting for two reasons, obviously to propagate them, but obviously to encourage new growth, and pruning also helps the general health of the plant, right? So after doing all of this, and of course most of the cuttings are, I'm gonna propagate them, I'm gonna put them into plastic cups filled with water. You know the drill, right? They're gonna grow roots eventually and then plant them into soil. However, after doing all of that, I'm gonna share with you my care tips on these trees. So basically what I do to take care of these, and hopefully you can tell on camera these are quite healthy as trees. Okay, so without further ado, let me grab my cutting tool, which is obviously here. And no matter what cutting tool you use, make sure to clean it thoroughly before using it, so you don't want to pass any disease to the plant. Who knows, or who remembers what I used this for the last time, right? So I always make sure to give it a good cleanup right before using it every time. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this one here. Just one thing though, when you prune or when you cut your trees, make sure not to overdo it, right? Otherwise it's gonna stress out the tree. Okay, so like I said, I want this to grow as tall as possible. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a few of the bottom branches, right? So the whole nutrition and whatnot goes and it's allocated to the other part of the tree, and hopefully, I mean, it will get taller and taller, right? So without further ado, let's do it. And probably I'm gonna go with one more, why not? And also what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a little bit of the tips of this, the longest branches, if you will, right? Just a little bit, not to overdo it. That's it. That's it. And maybe the tip of this one as well. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave this tree like this. So well, let me just remove this one first, get it out of the way. And now, when you're about to cut like a big chunk of it, there's that feeling that, oh my God, I'm afraid to cut it. Should I cut it? I hope I don't mess it up. What I say is don't worry about it, because the tree will grow new branches and eventually you can give them whatever shape you want. So without thinking about it, I'm gonna remove this branch right here as well, right? And of course, I'm gonna propagate this and I'm gonna keep it like this. Also, I'm gonna cut the tip of the main branches, if you will, just like so. Remove this branch that is growing upwards here, or maybe just cut it, just the tip right here. Still cutting a little bit of the tip right here. And of course, this one right here. Now, I think this one is good for the moment as well. Well, maybe I could remove these branches right here, but like I said, there is still time to do some more cuttings and prunings. So for the moment, I'm gonna leave it like this and also see the new shape, or rather direction, that the new branches are gonna get, and maybe give it a final cut. Okay, so we're done with the cuttings. Now let's go on with the care tips. Now, first of all, I use multi-purpose compost soil. 98% of the time, 97% of the time, I use only that kind of soil. I water them when I see that it's like 90% dry. And how do I know that? Well, I always use a moisture meter. So I stick it in just like so. And if the red, I already watered them like literally yesterday. And when I see that it's almost 90% dry, I give them a good watering. However, I make sure to remove 100% the excess water, not to leave any excess water down, because it will kill the plant. Trust me, I had to learn this the hard way years ago. Okay? And also, when the growth season comes, like March to late October maybe, something like that, you can either use fertilizer, or you can remove the top 3 inches of the soil and add new fresh soil with fresh nutrients for the plant, right? Also, do not leave them directly into sunlight, especially in summer, because it will burn the tree. Indirect bright light, ideal. However, I've had a tree a couple of years ago that I had it in a spot where it didn't get too much light, and it grew well until I overwatered it and eventually killed it, right? So if you want the most of it, indirect bright light, and be careful with the watering. Otherwise, this will grow quite healthy. Okay, so I guess this is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate that, and also stay natural.